let's get to the whole fixed cost, meaning like you pay one time now, and whatever happens, happens part of newsletter marketing. This is where a lot of people have fear, and this is why a lot of people don't do network marketing, because you pay no matter what. I've certainly had newsletter ads. If I had my old ad tracking account open, I could show you guys, but I actually closed it out because I changed my tracking up. I could show you newsletter ads that I paid for that never went out. And I know that's what people fear. Well, what if they don't send me any traffic? And well, that's the biggest secret to doing this stuff right, is to filter your newsletters so specifically to such a high level before you give any money that the likelihood of you creating success is very probable. What most people do is they go look online, like if I do, let's say like, let's do a new window, and let's say send email to 1 million people. Most people that get started with newsletter marketing will do something like this. Let's see if I can, now this is just off the cuff, so let's try this one. Buy newsletter solo ad. Yeah, here we go. They'll go and they'll go to like E-Zines Are Us, and then E-Zines Are Us will say something like, here's where you can get 1 million gazillion people to send your stuff out to, and here's all the different prices. And they'll look for the one that's like $20 to send out an ad to like 14 million people. I think you kind of know what I'm talking about. Maybe you've seen those. And that's the one that they'll spend money on. That is the worst. That's like throwing your money away. That's the mistake that most people make. Like, I'm not saying that people don't do newsletter marketing. I'm saying that they'll try a little bit and they'll say, I never got that to work. Because the worst newsletter to market to is the one that is selling you heavily on why you need to give them money and have all these like, oh, we're going to send it out to quadrillion people. So that's the first level of what you need to do to get right. We're going to go through the exact process in just a second. So the goal, remember we're talking about this fear and how to alleviate it. We filter our newsletters highly. The second is, because this is a fixed cost marketing world, our goal is to drive maximum immediate traffic as much as we possibly can. The way that you do that, and people will mess up here, is they will choose the cheapest ad in a newsletter that they can possibly place, and that's typically like a classified ad. I'll talk about the types in a second, whereas the only ad you should ever place in a newsletter is a solo ad. That is an ad that goes out to the entire subscriber base of that particular publication, and you're the only thing there. So you're the only voice, you're the only person in the room, and there's 30,000 people at the other end that are looking at you, and you're saying, come on over here. I've got some Kool-Aid. Want some? And like, you know, let's say there's 10,000. 500 of them say, yeah, man, I was thirsty. How'd you know? They come over and they get your Kool-Aid, and now you've got 500 leads. So most people choose the cheapest marketing in a newsletter when they place an ad, when you should only do solo ads. I've tested all the different types. Even if you mix and match these other 3 types that we're going to talk about in a second, they still are not as effective as a solo ad. I'll tell you why in a second. The answer is right there, but I'll tell you. So the types of ads that you can do in a newsletter ad are a top sponsor, a middle sponsor, and a classified ad. And they are ranked in the amount of traffic that they get. A top sponsor gets more traffic than a middle sponsor. A middle sponsor gets more traffic than a classified ad. They're also ranked by cost. Top sponsors cost more than middle sponsors. Middle sponsors cost more than classified ads. And the reason is these ads come inside of content that is already inside of the newsletter. Let me see if I can find like an old example here for you guys. I'm going to go inside of my old autoresponder so you can see what I mean. So this is my old school autoresponder. And the cool thing here is I haven't generated any new leads in this autoresponder in, I'd say, about 9 months. There's still a ton of people that check this stuff out, you know, like it's just interesting, you know, that you keep your following, people still dig you, you still have a ton of value to share. There's like the ROI when you get good at marketing, especially on the internet, is infinite despite all the necessary hassles that are perceived and some are actually real. So guys, as I said, it's all about doing ads sending out emails every day. You can see here in my autoresponder, I've got lots and lots of different emails that I've sent out. It looks like 1,832 as live broadcasts, one-time emails I've sent out over the course of time. I want to go back to some of the early ones so I can show you a placement inside of an email.
Did I see a list on there of 83,000 with 600 unsubscribed?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Yeah. I'll tell you about that. It's not what you think.
Okay.
I'll tell you. So let's try this one. So in a newsletter ad that would be a top sponsor, that would be like you being able to pay for placement in someone's newsletter, and they put your ad right there. A middle sponsor would be kind of where it is right there in the middle. And a classified ad would be right here where this PS statement is or below it there. So clearly if your link comes up at the top, well, you're going to get more traffic. And by the way, these links don't work anymore, so don't even try to go there. Even if you're just like kind of curious. Clearly because you're at the top, you're going to get more traffic, middle, less or so, bottom, even less, just so you can visualize what I'm talking about. I've done tests where I've literally bought a top sponsor, a middle sponsor, and a classified ad. The cost was more than buying a solo ad and got less traffic than a solo ad. A solo ad is just like you sending out the message, like I said. The reason why you should only ever do solo ads, the overwhelmingly most important reason is you control the subject line space for the email. Now, who cares if you've got the most amazing classified ad in the world and it's a top sponsor, but the newsletter that you placed that killer top sponsor ad in, the publisher sends out a headline that's like, you know, your next newsletter edition is here. No one cares. No one opens that. Pound for pound, the way that you make money with newsletter marketing is by controlling that subject line space. And the only guaranteed way to do it is with a solo ad. So, make sense, Brian?
Yeah, totally.
All right, sweet. So, I'll go back here and explain what you were probably looking at. Oh, so you were looking at this right here?
No, if you scroll up, you got it looks like you got 83,000 subscribed and like 600 unsubscribed.
Oh, yeah. No, that's just because whenever I get a ton of unsubscribes, I call up AWeber and I say remove those people from the list so I don't have to pay for them.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, I got to do that. I didn't know you could do that.
I know. They don't tell you. They don't tell you. You got to figure it out.
Dude, that's freaking... Oh, thank you. That just... Oh, dude, I love you. Okay. I hope everyone caught that. If you have over 10,000 people on your list, that's huge. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it just saves you money. So, yeah, whenever I get over 10,000 unsubscribes, I just say, hey, just clear all my unsubscribes from the list.
How did you figure that out? Just curious. Did you just call them?
Just logical deduction. I was like, dude, like I have all these records. I'm paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars per month for this autoresponder. There's all these people that are unsubscribed. Like, am I actually paying for these people too? I think I am. Look at this bill, because the only way is because I'm paying for these if this is a bill. So I call them and I'm like, what can I do to get rid of all these unsubscribes? Oh, we can do that for you. Like, dude, really?
Beautiful. They
Really?
keep that nice and secret.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, man.
So anytime.